Hey guys, how's it going? It's your girl DJ and you are back trading with DJ. Shout out to everybody who has been tuning into the videos, who's been getting some results with the stuff that I've been showing. I'm just really happy that I could help, and thank you for all the positive feedback. Let's keep it going. You got this. Let's go all the way to the top, guys. Honestly, this video is definitely needed. This is the best binary options broker for binary options traders. I'm telling you that because this is the one that I use and I love it. It's much newer than the others, so you already know the traffic is not too crazy on there. So definitely, if you have the funds to get started with this broker, it's much better than pocket options, because pocket options, it doesn't allow you to roll over and it doesn't allow you to double up. Those two options alone that it doesn't allow you to do, that could really help you with your trading. Let me explain what those two means. When you have a rollover, let's say you're inside of the trade and you need that extra minute and you're like, you know what, oh my God, I'm almost there and I feel like the market is gonna flip on me. And that rollover option does is it allows you to add more time within that trade. So now that you added more time, you're able to clear, you were able to see more success with it. Whereas if you were a pocket option, you cannot do that and you just would lose that trade, right? So this is why I would recommend this one. And also, it's a pretty cool setup, I believe. I think I like the dark theme that they have going on, and you have the pairs right here. There's other brokers as well, but for me, this is the best one. It's not much different than the others. They're all pretty much similar, but it's just the setup and all of that stuff that's really different. A lot of people would trade off of the tick chart. For me, it's not really accurate enough, so I would not. I need more. I need more. I need to see the candles. I need to see this. I need to see that. So I never actually placed a trade on the tick chart. I'm usually on the candles because that's what I believe in. That's what I love. I love to see, the different patterns and all of that stuff. So I get more success with that, right? And then you have the pairs on the left. You can see the pairs there. You want to get inside of a trade that's paying out 70% or better. So what that means is, once you get inside of the trade, depending on what your amount is, let's say you look at it right to the right, you have $1. So the 75% payout of $1 is 75 cents. When you get out of that trade, you will make 75 cents. So with binary options, you know exactly what you're going to make, you know exactly what you're risking, and you know exactly, how long it's going to take for you to do that. So it's pretty cool for people who don't have patience, who say, you know what, I want to get in and out of the market with the bag. That is your thing. This right here is for you, right? So let's say you're risking $30, right? $30, your payout is going to be 23 bucks, and that's 75%. Right? So what that means is you go inside of the market with $31, and when you get out, they add that 23, 25 on top of, so you're gonna clear the trade with $54.25. So understand, whenever you place a trade, forget about that money. It's no longer yours until you receive it back. Right? So always know that once you place that trade, the money's now in the market, and now it could be at risk of being gone, right? Because sometimes your trade goes left and then that happens. But because you have a strategy, because you know what you're doing, you end up having more successes. I did a video on the best binary options strategy for beginners months ago. I did it on pocket options. So I'm actually going to apply it on here so that you can see how it works, right? But it's pretty simple. They give you a chart as well, and it comes from TradingView, so it's easy access. It's right there in front of you. They give you the tools as well. If you don't know how to use the tools, go ahead and watch the video that I made. I did a tour guide of the TradingView platform, and you're able to see. Honestly, I don't trade weekends. I don't believe that you should trade weekends, because those days are the trap days, right? Although the binary options market is open, it does not mean that you need to be in there. But remember, the currency pairs, the foreign exchange market is closed, right? It's 5 days a week, 24 hours a day, but there's other pairs that you can trade, but you don't need to put yourself through that. Just wait until the market opens and then just trade the regular days. If you want to know the best times to trade, go ahead and watch my video that I made on that. I made a video on the best times to trade, the different sessions that there is. So go ahead and watch that so that you can apply that knowledge onto your trading account. So Let's do it, right? I'm actually going to place it maybe with $1 simply because I don't want to put that on my account. It's a weekend and it's out of my trading time. I'm going to place just one so that you guys can see that it works. But as long as you get the gist so that you can see the visuals and how it works. So here we have, I'm going to add the Bollinger Bands, right? So I use the Bollinger Bands defaulted to the way that I want it to be. If you want to see the settings, let's see, right? I have the colors changed, and this is the settings for this one here. But basically, when you're inside of the market, right, you're going with a specific time. So in this case, we're actually going to do 1 minute, right? So you're inside of the market. Whenever you see the candles are above the blue line, that means the market is on an uptrend. It's right. It's going to continue to go up until you see it move away. Then you know for sure that it's going to switch directions. But once you see it is along the red line, you do not get inside of the trade because now it is consolidating, and we don't trade in consolidation, right? You don't want to do that to yourself. So as we can see, we see the pattern that's been happening in the market. It's been creating higher highs. This low right here is higher than this low, which indicates that the market is pushing on the upside, right? So as you can see, the market has been going on an uptrend. So what I usually do is I would mark my support and resistance. Of course, I don't go nowhere without my support and resistance. Look, while we're talking, the move already happened. That's the move I was trying to catch with y'all, but it's okay. The colors kind of like, it's hard to see at times, like exactly what you're looking at, simply because they're all dark. But notice what I said, right? The candles are against the blue line. That means it's going to continue pushing up. So we see what just happened. So here's how I do it, right? As long as I know that the candles are going to push up, the Bollinger Bands is telling me the market is on an upside, right? It gives me confirmation that I can go in. And it also broke above resistance, which means it's going up. That's second confirmation. And if you use another confirmation, you can do that. My other confirmation is that I looked at the market on a bigger time frame on TradingView, so I know that it's going up, right? I looked at it on the 15 minutes on the TradingView, which I can see that it's pushing up. And this is a tool as well that you need to use to apply to your trading so that it can just give you better analysis, because this screen is much bigger for you to use. TradingView, all you're doing on there is marking up the chart. You're not placing any trades on there. All you're doing is marking up. Where you place your trades is on the broker account. So this is a crazy move that we could have gotten into simply because I had confirmations to get in there. I've been looking at this way before this drop even happened, right? I was in the market already looking at the setups to make sure that I give you guys some good gems. I'm expecting to happen now is for a pullback to happen. We don't ever get inside of a moving candle, right? So while the candle is moving, you just leave it alone until it closes. You have no business getting inside of the market at that time, right? So let it do its thing. It's going to be pulling back. It's going to be pulling back, and what that means is it's going to come back to this area, the same thing it did here. That means it's going to be overbought because everybody's buying right now. Everybody, all the people that's in the market right now are buying, so it's pushing up. And what the market is going to do, what the banks are going to do now, they're going to flip it, right? There we go. That's a red candle that just formed. So right now, the market is actually going to pull back, and it's going to do it slowly, but it's not going to go lower than that, right? It's not going to go lower than this low. And if it does go lower than that low, then we know that for sure it's going to keep going down. But based on what it already did, we've seen that it goes back, but it doesn't go lower than the previous low, which indicates that it's still going to keep going up. So we will let it pull back. I'm going to watch it, let it pull back, and then catch it when it's going back up, so that you're able to watch and see that perfect entry, that sniper entry that I be getting all the time when I'm trading binary options. And you could do it on a 1 minute, 2 minute. I do prefer that you stick to 2 minute if you are a beginner, right? 1 minute tends to be a bit quick. It's not enough time for you. Although you can roll over, but you don't want to just sit here and depend on that. You want to be able to clear a trade without having to depend on rollovers to clear your trades for you, if you get what I'm saying. So you have the pairs here, you choose. And one thing about trading binary options, guys, not just binary options, trading Forex in general, you do not need to be trading all of these pairs. Just because you see 5, 10 different pairs are paying out 70% or better, that does not mean you need to be trading all of them. Just take one pair or 2 pairs and master those pairs, make it your own thing, understand the ins and out, understand how that pair works, and stick to that and use it to make your money. You do not need to be trading all of these different pairs. Don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Just take one and be a master of it, and I guarantee you it'll pay off. You don't have to trade all the pairs. It'll pay off just knowing one of them. And that's what I did. I don't need to be all over the place. As long as I find what works for me, I stick to that and I make my money that way, right? So market is acting up right now. We'll wait for the pullback. That's what I'm waiting for. It's shooting up, but it's gonna pull back pretty soon, and then we're gonna catch the rise, right? We're gonna catch the rise, but yeah, it already, I don't like to, once it already passed the entry area that I wanted, even though it continues to go up, you just never know. The market can do a flip on you without you even knowing. Remember, we're buying low and we're selling high. So as it gets all the way up there, that's high, right? That's high, which means we're looking for a sell. We're not trying to buy at that point, right? It's pushing up, but we're not trying to buy because it's already past the limit. It's already past the area, the buying zone, right? You'd rather be safe than sorry, because you can say, oh, dang, it's gonna keep it just kept going up. I could have went in and I could have made some money. Well, what if it faked out? What if you went in and then it reversed on you? What if it did that? Right? So you'd rather be safe than sorry. The market is there. And when you're trading binary options, you don't want to sit in front of the charts all day. There's people that say, oh, I trade any type of time. I'll be in the charts for hours and hours. I'm like, that's overkill. That's not good. You set a specific time that you're going to trade binary. You sit there. When you're trading for that 1 hour, you catch the moves that you need to catch. You make what you need to make for the day, and you get out. You don't need to be in the market all day. How do you do it? You don't do nothing else with your life? How are you able to look at that? Let's say you would have gone in this trade and place a buy, right? And then boom, it flip out on you simply because you didn't want to wait. We don't buy high, we buy low, right? I don't chase the trade. I do not do that simply because I care about what's in my account. I'm not going to give money up to the banks just like that, right? So for the people who would have bought, who was watching this video and say, man, I could have bought already, I could have made some money. Nope. Look what happened. It flipped out on you, and that would have been some losses. Remember, we buy low and then we sell high. So at that peak right here, when it was already giving you the hints that it was gonna flip. You guys were seeing that the candles were red and then it went green, red and then it went green. That just means the market is overbought at this point and it's going to reverse. So right now what it's doing is reversing. And what we're waiting for it to do is once it's done doing that, it's going to start going back up, and that's where you would catch it. My entry would actually be above this area here because it's going to consolidate in this area right there. So that would be the resistance. And I would say the support would be right here. So in between this area here, it'll consolidate. It'll go up, down, up, down until it breaks out. Then we'd get an entry. But until then, we just let it do its thing. So hoping that I can actually place one trade so that you guys can see how it looks once you clear a trade on Videforex. But if not, there'll be plenty times where I'll be live with you guys, because as I did say, once we hit 5,000 subscribers, we will, I'll go live and I'll be trading live and, cast some moves and explain some stuff on YouTube live with you guys. So it's going to be pretty great. So let's see what the market is going to do. Right. It's consolidating right now. It's really not giving up. But once it breaks above, that's when you would go in and enter and buy. Right. We already know it's on an uptrend. We already know that. So right now it's pulling back, right? This is a 15-minute time frame. Looking at it on the 5 minutes, here's what we got here, right? Boom. We got this right here that's forming. There's people that would ask, okay, when you place the resistance, do you place it at the wick or do you place it at the candle? I place them at the candle simply because the wick is just price that pulled up and then it pulled back. So I like for it to be at the body of the candles. So that's where I would put my resistance. And once you do those often enough, then you start to understand more of what it did. We're usually supposed to have 3 touches when we're when we have our resistance, right? So you go on a bigger time frame just so that you can make sure that you have your resistance, and then we'll mark the support, right? Boom, to expect. So now we're back on the 5-minute time frame, and that would be a setup that I'd have for binary, right? My support resistance, and then I'll put my trend lines to trap it, trap the zone, and then remember I told you guys it's gonna consolidate within this area, and guess what it did? It's still within that same area consolidating. So once I'm not going to be getting inside of this trade while it's doing all of this back and forth. Once it breaks above, let me see if I can mark it because it is. So I want my entry to be above here, right? Because then I know for sure it's not going to go back. Notice what happened. When we were here, after it pulled back, once it broke above, it didn't go back. It stayed above. It continued to pull up. That's why I make sure that it break that consolidation area so that I can get a good entry, right? It did that over and over and over, right? So I'm waiting for it to break above here. It's pretty close, so that even if it doesn't happen in this area, it may happen over here. But either way, as long as it happens, we get inside and buy. Enter here in this area. So let's wait for it. I'll wait for it. While we do that, I had a pretty long day. It was a really nice day. I went to check out this Japanese restaurant. Honestly, I thought I would have loved the food, but I didn't really like it, so I didn't eat. I had this steak, wagyu, I think that's how they say it, and I didn't really like it. I came home and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat some pizza that I have in my fridge, and then call it a night. Gonna read some books. Gonna finish reading this book that I have. It's called The Heart of Leadership. Let me see if I have it with me here. So this is the book that I've been reading. A friend of mine gave it to me, and that's the best gift that somebody can give you. It's full of value. So I love it. The information that I'm learning on here, becoming a leader people want to follow. It's highly important. If you want to lead, you got to make sure that you're leading on how to properly do it. You can't just be leading people, and don't know what you're doing. So that's what I've been on, and it's been pretty great. So I'm gonna read the rest of that, and then yeah, and finish this other book that I was reading. It's called Climbing the Ladder of Success, which is amazing. So if you want to be successful, you have to educate yourself with information. Guys, the only difference between the rich and the poor is simply information. That's all it is. Information. And it's not the even access to information, because you can get access to information by placing yourself around that information, right? Your environment. Who are you hanging around? Gosh, I'm waiting for this thing to go through, but it's still doing its own thing. So just to cut it short, I will do another video to catch it. But that's exactly why I don't trade on weekends, because look what the market does. It does this move, and then once it starts consolidating, it takes its time to finally break out of consolidation. So the best days to really trade, go watch the video that I created about that. But I'm actually gonna end the video simply because I just don't want to drag this video. As long as the market did what we predicted, right? I told you guys it's gonna keep going up, and it kept going up. And then I told you it's gonna pull back, and it pulled back. And I told you it would consolidate, and it consolidated. Right? I trapped the zone that it would be in, and it's still in that same zone. Not even a candle stuck out of that zone. Right? Now we're waiting for it to break above. And after the video, I'm gonna see if I can place the trade. I'm gonna cut the video short and end it. Right? Let me write entry, but I just don't want to hold it. I told you guys it could happen there, or it could happen over there. It happens when it wants to happen. Remember, we do not control the market. Don't think that you can control the market. The only thing you can control is your understanding of how the market moves, right? That's why we have strategies for you to understand how the market moves so that you can be profitable. But that's really about it. I hope that this made sense for you. But if you really want to get into binary options, I would honestly say get the funds together so you can start with this broker, because it's so much better. You can roll over, you can double up, and the setup is pretty simple. Have a great one. Love everybody. Make sure that you're subscribing and that you're showing some love. Oh, look at it, look at it. Right before I was about to end the video, look at it, look at it. But here's the thing, right? It's above, but it didn't close above. It didn't close above. So what I'm waiting for is the close above, and then I'll get in. So until it closes above, right now it's still moving. So once it closes above, then boom, we got our entry. Look at that, look at that. Look at that. It shot above, but it didn't close. So let's wait for it. So I was about to cut it short, but that thing said, you know what? Okay, we're gonna rush it up for you, just for you, DJ. And I like that. So it can happen. It can happen. So let's wait for the close. Once it closes above, we're gonna get inside and place a call. And then I am in no rush. It actually did close above. It closed above, but I didn't get in. All right, all right, all right. I didn't get in. That would have been a pretty spicy clear. All right, so I know for sure it's gonna keep going up. So I went in just now, but I like to catch that low entry, you know, so that I can go all the way up. It's still loading. It should have gone in. Not sure. I placed call since that candle closed and it didn't go in. It's not going in. But you see what I'm trying to say, right? So if you would have gone in, that would have been a pretty simple clear. That would have been a perfect clear. So what is going to continue down? It's going to keep going up. That's crazy. You see how the devil just don't want you to win? How he just going to slow down my internet just like that? And I couldn't even enter. It's still loading, right? It's still loading. I couldn't enter. Usually I'll be able to, but my internet been acting up lately. But it's all good. As long as y'all was able to see what I was talking about, it makes complete sense. If it makes sense, it makes dollar bills. But yeah, that was perfect. Like I predicted this whole thing. If we would have entered, like I showed you guys where the entry was right at that yellow line, and then it went above it, and then it continued to go up. Now it's still scraping against the blue line on the Bollinger Bands, which is great, until it moves away. But you know it's gonna keep going up, and it's still going up. So but that's about it. I hope this video made some sense to you, despite the enemy trying to stop us from shining. But y'all still was able to see what I was trying to say. But if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments. And if you are serious about getting into binary options, email me. Be respectful, be professional, please, in your emails, because some people just be saying some funny stuff when they email me, and I'm not gonna take you seriously, right? I'm a very serious person. I take myself seriously. If you want me to take you seriously, just give me a serious approach so that I can know that you actually want to do this, guys. But that's about it. I hope y'all have a great one. Until the next video.